Hello, I'm Terry Moe, a senior fellow at the Hoover Institution and a member of the Correct Task Force on K-12 Education. I'm here with my friend Paul Peterson, who's also a senior fellow at Hoover and a member of the Correct Task Force. And we're going to be talking today about President Obama's stimulus program, which is now working its way through Congress. So Paul, what are the education components of this stimulus program, and what do you think the consequences are likely to be for America's education system?
Well, you know, the president in his radio address said that he wanted not only just to hand out jobs, but he wanted productive outcomes as a result of the stimulus package. So one was hoping that one would find in this package things that would actually improve American education. But there's pretty much of a disconnect between what he said and what's actually happening in the Congress right now.
Well, what do you mean by a disconnect?
Well, it's more of a bailout than it is an investment. The money is just going to the states to spend however they want to spend on the same programs that they've been spending it on before. So the existing federal programs, which are in need of repair, are just being funded at a higher level. And it's a lot of money. This is the biggest increase in spending by the federal government in education since Lyndon Johnson in the Great Society program.
Well, isn't education traditionally a state and local activity? Can the federal government really tell the states what to do?
Well, it should be careful, but it could do some things right now because the states are really in trouble fiscally. They really need this money, and if the federal government said, okay, you've got to start paying your teachers in an effective way, so you pay the best teachers more money, you don't put so much money into the pension and healthcare systems, you treat them like General Motors. You just say, okay, if you want this money, you've got to fix the system that you have in place. You need to put more money into your charter schools. They're a more productive part of your educational system. This is what you would need to do if you want the money. That's not happening.
Well, let's talk about that in a little more detail. What specifically would you do?
Well, I would say, okay, if you want the money, then you got to submit a plan that says how you're going to be paying teachers according to merit, according to performance in the classroom, not in accordance with what you've been doing in the past. You have to reform your pension system. You have to reform your health care benefits. I mean, this can be done at the state level. It does not need to be done by every school district.
Well, doesn't this stimulus package actually do some of that? Doesn't it provide money for charter schools? Well,
you know, there's $25 million for charter schools out of $100 billion. $25 million is 1/5 of 1%. It's a tiny fraction. In Newton, Massachusetts, they're going to spend $200 million on a new high school. $200 million. They're going to spend $25 million, an eighth of that on charter schools. It's nothing.
Well, doesn't it also provide something like $200 million for performance pay?
That is a start. You know, that's something that is worth noting, and it does reflect Obama's campaign promises to do something about it. But $200 million, you know, that's not even $1 billion, and we're talking about $100 billion going into this stimulus package. So 1/5 of 1% is going for performance pay. 99% plus is going for the same old, same old.
All right. Well, you're basically talking about the plan that passed the House recently. You know, what do you think the chances are that the Senate will improve upon the House's plan?
Well, at least we're going to have more bipartisanship there. But the Republicans need to get on board if they're going to do it. And the Republicans have not paid any attention to the education component of the package. And I think probably the president, because he said in his speech that we have to have bipartisanship, we have to have courage, we have to address new issues. So if this could be brought onto the table, we could hope that at least the conversation would start moving in this direction.
Okay, well, thank you, Paul, for your comments. This is Terry Moe from the Hoover Institution. Paul and I have been talking about President Obama's stimulus program and what it implies for American education. Thank you for joining us.